Let's create a simple yet sleek portfolio presentation. Today's workshop is the first lesson of an 8-part series. Follow the bite-sized lessons, and by the end of the series, you'll have a full portfolio presentation template that you can customize for your personal use. In the description box, you'll find a link that lets you access the color and font guide. Go on and click on the link. Don't be shy. It's absolutely free. That way, you can get started today because no excuses are standing in your way. You're welcome to my design workshop, where I help you turn ideas into visual stories. Because in this workshop, we practice what we learn. You're welcome back to the Canva homepage. In this lesson, we'll be editing a template, quick and easy to do. On the homepage, head over to the templates button on the left-hand side panel, right underneath projects. This is the templates button. Click on that. Once you've clicked on it, it opens up the template section. Now I'm going to type in here brown monochrome, simple, minimalist, presentation template. Long name, but stick with me. We're getting somewhere. So it's going to pull up, yeah. And so the template I'll be using is this one right over here. It's the very first one that popped up because I typed in the specific name. Now I'm going to click on it. And you'll see here it says brown monochrome simple minimalist presentation template. And the presentation size is 1920 by 1080 pixels. Shout out to Taty Studio who created this template. Now we can click on customize this template and it will take us into the Canva editor. So this is our template. You can see here that it has 7 pages. We're going to go in and edit these pages, turning it into a portfolio presentation. Okay. Before we do that, of course, we need our guide, our font and color guide. So I'm going to add a new page by clicking on this plus button over here. I'll click on that, and once a new page has been added, I will move this page to the beginning. So now it becomes the first page. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change the background color to white. Clicking on the color circle, I'll go in here, and when you go to the default solid colors section, you'll see white over there. You can click on it, or white is hashtag FFF FFF. Let's just cross check that. If I hover over it, you should see the hex code right underneath. It says FFF FFF. Okay. Now that is changed to white, and to be honest, all the pages are going to be white. Well, not all the pages, most of them. So I'm going to go ahead and click change all. We will make changes as we go where necessary. All right. To start, you know what we do? We're going to press the letter T and then type in fonts. I'll move this all the way up to the top like that. I'll change the size to 70 by clicking over here. I'll just click in and type in 70 right there, like that. See that the size of the font increased? Next, I'm going to duplicate this, and then move it over here and type in heading. Click on that. Duplicate heading and type in the font that will be used for the heading. Next, I'm going to change Sugo Display to that actual font. I'll click on the font over here and change that to Sugo Display, which shows up right under there under all results. I'm going to click that. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I will group these two, shift it right underneath, make sure that it's under fonts, and then I will duplicate so that I can fill in the body and the accent font. This is going to be the body. Then I'll click on Sugo and change that to agrandi wide, agrandi wide. Just position this in the center like that. And actually change agrandir wide to itself. Agrandir wide. There it is. I'll click on bold because I don't want the font, I don't want it to be bold. So I'll just click on bold over here. And then I will stretch it out so it all stays on one line. Like that. And then reposition it in the center. Like that. Next, I'll duplicate this to add the accent font. Type in your accent. I'll type in over here vibes. Then go over to the font section to type in here vibes. It should pop up and I'll select that. So we have the fonts that we will be using in our design. Now I'm going to just reposition fonts, center it like that, and then duplicate font so that I can include the colors. I'll bring that to the middle. Somewhere here is fine. I'll just lower it slightly and then type in here colors. I'm going to press C on the keyboard, and that's the shortcut for circle. I'll press C and then a circle will pop up. Let's reduce the size of the circle slightly and then adjust its position like that. I'll be needing 3 of these circles, so I'll just duplicate this, place it in the center right there, and I'll duplicate again and then position over here. We have 3 circles. Next, let's just increase this a little bit like that so we can see. I'm about to include the colors that we will be using in this design. The first circle is going to be gray orange, and by clicking on this circle, the color section will open and I can type in here the color that I would like. Or I can click on this plus button and then type it in here directly. Hex code is D68636. That's the first color. And then the second color is a grayish orange. I'm going to type in the second color is brown. I'll type in the hex code. It's this color over here, but I just want to type in the hex code so you can see how that's done. The hex code is 804 F3B. There. So that's brown. Now I can just zoom in a bit so that we can see the entire page. The last color circle is also gray orange, but another shade. I'm going to just type in the hex code over here so we'll have that color included. It's A78262. Yeah, that's our third color. I just want to tweak this text here slightly, moving it over to the right so that it is centered directly underneath fonts so that they're properly aligned. Okay, so our first page is done, and this is our font and color guide. You'll see the link in the description so you can easily access this and get straight to designing. Otherwise, you can follow along and create your own. Let's head right into the class. I'm going to click on page 2 and go straight into typing. I'll type in here my portfolio, all caps, my, enter, portfolio. Now, I'll change the font to our heading font, which is Sugo Display. You'll find it under document fonts when you open the font section. This is because of our font and color guide that we created. So all of that will be populated here. That way you don't have to now search for it. Everything is ready to go. Okay. Now just make sure that the font of this one is 120, or just look at it, figure out what font size you think works best, or whatever font size you're going for. Then you can change the font size. I will be adding a name, of course, a placeholder name once again. I'll type in here Sandra Mills. Then I will delete this date, duplicate the name, and type in the date. I'm going to type in here 24th May 2026. I'll just move this up slightly and change the font size to 50. The font will also be changed. I'll change that to agrandir wide. Let's go into the font section and click on agrandir wide. That's right over there. And next, we can just extend this part so that it is all on one line. Like that. Now, I'm going to change the date to vibes. There. Right over there. Okay. So we have our portfolio title, we have the name, we have the date. And the date font is also going to be 50. Once that goes down, we will stretch it out to make sure that it's all on one line. All right. Next, I'm going to delete the text over here and change the color of this rectangle to the gray orange color over here. And then I will press T, bring on some text. And that's going to be our number because the page needs a number. So that's 1. Then I will close it up, making sure that all the white space around it is closed in. Bring the number over here, and I'm going to make that white so it's a little more legible. Let's go over to the text color and change that to white. There you go. I'll change the number to agrandir wide. I'll just click on font and change that so that we stick to our fonts. I just want to rearrange things slightly. So I'll copy all of this and lift it up so it's more centered. Like that. Let's center it like this. And just like that, the cover page is pretty much done. In our last lesson, we created our cover page, which had the title and our name and the date, and of course, the number of the page. Now, next, we're going to head over to the next page to create the About Me page. You need to share a little bit about yourself to the reader. Okay, let's click on 3. To start, I'll go straight into the title area. I'm going to type in here About Me, all caps. Then I'll change that to our heading font, which you already know if you've been following is the Sugo display. And you'll find that right under the document font section once you've clicked on fonts, which will be up here on the floating toolbar next to Ask Canva. Now I'm going to click on Sugo display and change the font size to 80, which I will type in here by clicking on that area and then typing in 80. Then enter. Okay, that's the size I'm going for. Now I'm going to type in here a little bit about Sandra, who is our persona that we're using for this portfolio. I'll be typing in this text. I am an efficient, creative, with experience, with extensive experience in branding. Oops, what is this? In branding. Okay. Logo design. Okay, that logo design and brand storytelling. I specialize in corporate asset design, and I am looking for a branding specialist. Oh, okay, no, I kind of missed the line. And I am looking and I am exceptionally, okay. And I am exceptionally good at giving already existing brands. We'll fix all of that once I'm done. Existing brands a makeover. If you're looking for a branding specialist, if you're looking for a branding specialist, look no further. No, just that's not it. To give to give your design the upgrade it deserves. Yep. You know. Then I'm your candidate. Let me just zoom out so I can type it in. I'm your candidate. There. Now let's change the alignment. I'll click on that and go into the alignment section and select to left. Aligned left. Now I'll just shift this up slightly just to close up the space between about me and the text. Says I'm an efficient creative with extensive experience in branding, logo design, and brand storytelling. I specialize in corporate asset design and I'm exceptionally good at giving already and take that N out of there. Already existing brands a makeover. If you're looking for a branding specialist to give your design the upgrade it deserves, I'm your candidate. Okay, so that's a little bit about Sandra and what she can do. You can just type in here something about yourself, sharing a little bit about what you can do for the reader who hopefully is about to hire you. Okay, next, I'm going to change the font to agrandir wide. So I'll just go into the document font section and select agrandir wide. Just like that, we keep the same size for the font. Then I'll move this up slightly again, like that. After that, it's time to bring on board the rounded square frame. You know how it is on here. We're always going for the rounded square frame. I'll type in here. I can see it over there in my recently used, but I'll just type it in here. So looks like this rounded square frame. And it will bring out some options. Go to see all. And then I will select it. This is the one I'm going for right over here. It is called rounded square frame. So I'll just click on it, position it over here like that. All right. Now let's get our image element still in the element section. I'll just click on the X over there and type in here elegant. You can see it in my recently searched elegant professional woman photo. That's it right there. The one I used, woman photo. Go to see all. It's under photos. You go to see all and then scroll. At the moment, I'm looking for a free image, but if you're on a pro account, then please wait. You'll be putting in there your own image. So go ahead and put your professional photo in here. Okay, this is the one I'm going for. This one over there, that's Sandra. If you watch the other tutorial, you'll know who's you would have seen this image before. So this is the image we're going for. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change the color of this rectangle over here to that gray orange, this one. And then I'll change the font of the number to agrandir wide, change the color to white, and then I will make it bold. So, just like that, the About Me page is complete. If you thought that this tutorial was easy, then please type into the comment section, is that all? Today, we will be working on the What I Do page, just highlighting specific skills that I believe the recruiter or whoever's reading your portfolio should see. Okay, so I'm going to click on it, the fourth page in the thumbnail section, but this is actually our third slide because in the end, we're going to be deleting the font and color guide. Okay, let's carry on. Straight away, I'm going to go into the title section and type in here what I do. And we'll change that to our heading font, which is Sugo Display. Okay, that's changed. Now I'm going to type in just a little bit of text to describe what Sandra does. Before that, I'll change what I do to all caps. To do that, I can simply click on what I do, go over here and change it to all caps. Now, I'll keep the font size at 48. We'll just leave it at that. Then I'll come over here and type in a little bit of text to explain what Sandra does. Okay. Says not take, oh my goodness. I think right. I take outdated outdated brand identity, identity assets, and give you one that makes you stand out in the industry. How about that? One that makes you stand out in the industry. Okay, yes. So let's just check that to make sure everything looks good. Just have to zoom in. I take outdated brand identity assets and give you one that makes you stand out in the industry. Okay, Sandra, do your thing. All right. Now I'm going to change the font to Agrandir Wide. You know that is our body font. And I'm going to keep the size at 28. I'll move all of that lower because we're about to add some kind of banner to this section. To do that, let's go over to page 3 and bring a rounded square, or you can go straight into the element section to grab the rounded square from there, but I'll just do it this way. Take out the image, delete that image, move the rounded square to the top, make it a little smaller, leave some space, more like a margin at the top and on the side. Just let it start where the word what starts, and then elongate it. Make sure you leave some margin between the rectangle and the frame itself. I'll just move it up slightly. And yeah, this is what I'm going for. I'll go into the element section, which is already open over here. I'll close this, and then I'll type in here to find an image that will fill that. To find an image. Oh, okay, yeah. It says to describe my ideal element. Sorry about that. I'm gonna type it in here. I thought that was something I needed to delete. Let's move on. Pretend that did not happen. I'll type in there web designer sketch. Oh, okay. Designer. Okay. Again, let's pretend that did not happen. Okay, I'll click search and I'll go into photos. That's the image I use right there. You can use any of these. I think I'll go for this one. I used the other one when creating the class. Okay, I think I'll go for the other one. Yes, this is the one I'll be using. It is a free image first and foremost, and it is called Web Designer Sketch. Oh, okay, yeah, that's what I typed in. Web Designer Sketch. Okay. Next, we're going to add another rounded square over here. To do that, let me just duplicate this and then reduce the size. I'll just reduce the size, bring it over here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the corners a little bit more rounded so it fits what I'm trying to go for. I'll just increase that, how rounded the sides are. And yeah, this is fine. So it's at 61. And I'll delete the image from it, change the color to that gray orange color that we have. And then we will bring on some text. Let's just duplicate this. What I do first, I'll just close up the white space like that. And then I will duplicate the text, bring it somewhere here inside the rounded square. Then I'm going to change this to logo design. Just bring it over here and add a bullet point. I'll be including just 2 scales. So Sandra's saying, look, if you need a logo, well, look no further. All right, so I'll duplicate this and then I will put over there. I'll change the second one to graphic design. Yep, let's stretch that so it's all in one row. Then I'll just adjust things to make sure it fits in there nicely. I think I want to change the font size of the titles. I think I want to change the I think I want to change the font size of both. So I'll just increase that, make that 50. Not too big of a change, not too big of a difference, but slight difference, but yeah, it's fine. Just want it to be a little bigger like that. Now I'm going to bring on an icon, which I'll find in the element section. All I have to do is type in here design tools icon, then go to the graphics section to find the icon I'm looking for. Looks something like this, but this one has the crown, so I'm running to another one that does not have a crown, which is this. Okay, reduce the size and just use that over here. Just a little decorative piece, and I'll change that to brown. Then this rectangle gets changed as well to the orange color. This rectangle over here gets changed to the orange color. Then I'll change the font to a grandier wide and the color to white. Just like that. Once again, and then we make it bold. Let's zoom out so we can have a look. Yeah, just like that. The what I do page is complete. I'll just stretch this out a little bit. And then let's bring it down slightly. We move this one as well so it's aligned like that. I'll make sure that the text over here is left aligned like that. And yeah, just like that, the what I do page is complete. Next, let's click on page 5. I'm going to delete all the circles, the frames, and the circles that we see over here. Gone. Now, first things first, let's change the title. Over here, I'm going to type in my expertise. And I'll change that to our heading font, which is this Hugo display. Okay, got that. And then I'll close this white space. Change the font size to 70. Now, I'll just stretch it out so it's all on one row like that. And then I'll bring back, you know what? It's a frame and it is rounded and it's a square. Rounded frame. Rounded square frame. Let's go get that. It should be in your recently used section if you have been following. If not, then please go and watch the very first video. So let's get our rounded frame. You'll find it in the recently used section, and mine is right over here. I'll click on that and position it right here. Reduce the size, and then I'll raise it up. Now all I have to do is duplicate because we need 3 of these. Like that. Okay. Next, let's find some images that we can use to represent the different skills that Sandra wants to show off. For the first image, we have hand holding color palette. I'm going to type that in. So let's go back. I'll type it in here, hand holding color palette. Okay, I'll go to the photo section to find that free image that I'm looking for. This is the one. I'll just place it in here. Okay, and then this one is called Color Palette Creation. I'll delete that and I'll change the fonts over here to our Seago display. Let's decrease the line spacing. So I'll decrease that to about 1.1. Then we will change the font size. We'll change the font size to 54. I'll type that in here. And then now I can search for the next image. Next, I'm going to look for an image that represents brand identity. And so I'm just going to type in here brand identity. I'm going for a free image. So as soon as I spot it, I will click on it. I think it's this one over here. Just tuck it in here. And then I will delete all of this so that I can duplicate color palette. It's already the size that I want it to be. And I'll position it here and type in brand identity. Okay. Let's move this up and then move this up as well. I'll just zoom out a little bit like that. Move this up, center it, and then I'll make sure they are aligned. I'll center this as well. Last but not least, let's add another image. Next, I'm going to type in here pastel tone mood board. Let's see what pops up. We're going to find that in this section. So click see all. This is the one I'm going for. It is called pastel toned mood board on soft pink background. Just trying to stay on theme. Okay, now we'll just slightly raise this up and then I will delete this bit so that I can bring on some text, which would just be me duplicating this one and then moving it over here, then changing the name. I'm going to type in here mood board design. Enter design. What we've done here is the first and the last match in terms of how the text is positioned, and then because this one there are only 2 words, we've left that in the middle just so it looks nicely balanced. Okay, we're almost there. Quick and easy. Last but not least, I'm going to change the color of this rectangle over here. So we'll click on it and then click on the circle, the color circle. Then I'll change that to brown. Means the number disappeared, but don't worry, we're getting it back. I'm going to change the color to white and then the font to, you know which one, Agrandi wide. Then we will make that bold. How easy was that? We're done. All right, we're heading to page 6. On the thumbnail section, click on 6 and then let's edit this page. I'll type in here. Oh, it already has services. Okay, I'm just going to change the font and font size. So let's do that. You know the font, you know which font we'll be using. Seago display. And I'll change the size to 70. All right. Next, let's delete. Next, I'm going to change the background color. So select the page and then click on the color circle. I'll change the background color to brown. Hold on. Everything's disappeared, but we'll bring it back just in a second. Now let's go to the element section and find the image we're looking for. I'll type in here close up shot of person using a laptop. I've already searched it, so it's over there in my recently searched. I'll just press enter and then go to the photo section, click on see all. This is the image I'm going for. It is by Jan Krukow. I hope I didn't butcher the name. If I did, sorry. From Pexels, and it's called Close Up Shot of a Person Using a Laptop. Yeah, that's the one. I'll click on it, and the next step would be to right click on the image, go over to replace background. That's what we're looking to do. Next, I'm going to select the image and then reduce its transparency to 18. Just type in here 18. You can adjust, play. You can play with it, adjust as you like to see which one suits you. I'm just going to keep it at 18. Yeah, like that. And then I'll bring on a very famous element on here. And you know which element that is? The rounded square frame. Woo woo. Okay, let's get that. I'll go over to the preview. I can actually go to the previous page, but I'll just pick this one up. Bring it over here. Control V, and then I will place it on top of the text. Because what we will do is we will let the text sit on this frame. Yeah. Then go to position, layers, and then I will delete that text because I'll bring on text that I have already typed out. Control, I'll just bring that on. Okay, I'm just going to place my text over here and then reposition it. It will have a title. I'll change the font color to white. Then I'll duplicate that, position it over here, and type in logo design. Like that. We will reduce the size. I'll reduce the size to 50. So it looks something like this. The text says, let's read it. Are you a brand new company looking to create a look and feel for your brand that will convey the right message to your audience? I design logos that convey the exact message your brand stands for. Now let's do the next part. I'll just zoom in again. I'll zoom out. To do that, let's just delete this text over here, delete the name, and then lock. And then I'll copy all of this, the logo design, the square frame, and the text, and then I'll just duplicate. We can just move that over here. There. The only thing left is to change the text. So I'll make this one graphic design. And then I'll change the title over here to presentation design. We just stretch this out. And then I'll change the text. I'll paste it over here. It says, looking to land that sponsorship that will help you meet your business goals or get the funding that will set your business on the path to growth. I'm a visual storyteller that can help you communicate why you deserve that business boost. Yes. Okay. So next, we're going to change the rectangle. This time our rectangle is going to be gray orange. Yep, this color. And then I'll change the font to agrandir wide, the color to white. And we're almost there. Make it bold. I'll just bring the title down a bit more just so it's over here and not too far away from what it's supposed to be talking about, and not too far away from the services we're actually talking about. And then I think I'll reduce the size of these rounded squares slightly, increase the space at the top. I'll delete this one and bring this one over here so it's all the same size. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is go to position and bring this to the front, bring that on top. Yeah, just like that. We're almost there. And then I'll bring the text to the middle of the page. You can choose to make it bigger just so it has some more breathing space. I think this is fine for me. And just like that, the services page is complete. Let's take a closer look. I'll zoom in so you can see it clearly. I want to move this over here a little bit. Move the title as well. Hey, you over there. You're not supposed to be there. I'm going to delete the name. And then I'll delete this one over here. All right, we're getting closer to our last page. Right now, we're going to create the education page. We need to share our educational experience. Now, click on page 7, and then we're going to delete everything on here. Just select all of it, all the text, gone. And then I'll go straight ahead to edit the title, typing in here education all caps. You know what's going to happen next? We're changing this to Sugo display. Like this. That's done. I'll change the font size to 70. Now, this is probably going to be the easiest page. Maybe not. The competition is pretty tight, don't you think? Let me know in the comment section if you think all of this has been super easy. Just type in there, the competition is tight, because we're trying to find a winning page for which one is the easiest, but feels like it's going to be a difficult one. All right, now I'm going to press the letter T and type in a date. Let's say 22nd, 05, 22. 22nd, 05, 25. Just put that over here. And then I will change the size of this text to 40. We'll just move this over here, right under education. Now we're going to duplicate this and then type in there, Masters in Communication and Design. And then we'll position that right over here. Now I'll duplicate this over here and type in a few courses. Just UI and let's just go UI and UX design principles, media studies. All right, we're going to change this to, we're changing the font to agrandi wide, and then we will change the size, and we don't want it to be bold. So I'll stretch this out first, reposition it, And then I will click on bold so it's no longer bold. Yeah. I'll backspace. I'll bring it over here. Let's align left. Then I'll change the size to 28. Yeah. I'm going to just make sure that the spacing is the same between each word. I think this looks good. Next, you can just copy this, duplicate, and then paste on this side. Then you edit. On this page, we're going to have 4 different sections where you can include your educational experience. The next section will be at the bottom of this page, and we will need our rounded square. So I'll go to the previous page, copy that, and then I'll paste it on here. Now we're going to take away the corner rounding effect. All you have to do is come over here and we have a square. Okay. Now I'm going to elongate this, stretch it until it touches, at least this part touches the rectangle and that part touches the left edge. Then I'll raise this up until I feel like it's situated somewhere in the middle, like that. Looks good to me. Next, we're going to lock it in place because we don't want it moving around when we place our text on there and we start editing and shifting things. I'll group this, then duplicate and bring it on over here so that it can be edited. I'll do the same, duplicate, and then move it to the other side, making sure that it is properly aligned. I'll move it a little bit more to the right, like that. Let's make sure that this bit is aligned with that. Yes. And then this part is aligned with this. Exactly what I'm going for. Okay. Okay, now let's organize things on the page so that it is nicely positioned. To do that, first, I will group this one. I haven't grouped it yet, so I'll just group this. And then I'll move it down slightly, keeping it still aligned with the one at the bottom. And then I will move this as well because it is already grouped. I can just move it easily. Then this one, which is grouped as well, I will keep where it's at, just making sure it stays aligned with the other one. This one as well, aligned with the other one, with the one on top right there, like this. Okay, we're going to change the font color of the one over here just because it is pretty. I'd rather that we go for a lighter color so that it's nice and legible. Yes, like this. And then we change this one as well to white because it's grouped. We can change all that in one go. Okay, I'll adjust things slightly. Let me move this over to this side. I'll move the one on top of as well. I'll move the one on top as well to this side, still keeping them aligned like that. And then I'll move this one low. I'll move this one as well so that it's aligned with the one on the left. Let me have a quick look. I'll just zoom out. Yeah, this is pretty much what we're going for. You can edit accordingly. And if you have more educational experience that you want to share, well, then add another page and then you can edit that as well. Now let's change the color of the rectangle. I'll click on this and change that to brown. The number disappeared, but we'll get it back. That will be number 6. I'll change the font color to white. And the font type will be the same old Argandie wide. And then we'll make that bold. Yep. So just like that, again, our education page is complete. If you enjoyed this video, if you watched until this point and you're going to actually remake this, then give this video a like. What's a portfolio without some work samples? In today's lesson, we're going to create the page that allows us to show off what we've got. Okay, so next I'm going to duplicate the page we worked on last time. If you haven't watched that video, run on over there and watch it and then come back to finish this one. To create our next page, I'm going to click on these three dots over here and I will duplicate page. Next, we're going to go in and take everything off. Delete, delete. Okay, this is locked, so we'll open it up. Delete. All of it is almost gone. Our text boxes are still here, but because it's white, we couldn't see them. So I'll just check by trying to copy stuff on the page. I've noticed that there is nothing. Okay, now I can carry on. Next, I'm going to go on over here and bring on this image, the mood board design. Bring it over here, place it. I'll position it in the center like this, expand it a little bit, and then I'll duplicate this, bring the other one on this side. So just I'll duplicate it, and then now I can adjust. Okay. Now that that's done, I'll go in and find another mood board image. So I'll come into the element section and type in minimalist and neutral, not this, neutral photo. Minimalist and neutral photo on cream background. Very specific. I'll leave so right now it's in all section. You can come to photos and select see all. And I will scroll through to find the one that I'm looking for. It is this one over here. It's called Minimalist and Neutral Photos on Cream Background. I'll just click on that and insert it over here. All right. Next, I'm going to bring on some text. So I'll click on T and then I will type in my skills in action. I'll put this on top over here. We're going to increase the size. First, I'll change the font to Vibes, and then I'll change the size to 120, large. Okay, then I'll stretch this out so it's all in one row and center it. Then I'll center it. Keep it right over. I'll keep it right over there. Lift it up slightly. Okay, now I'm going to change the color to brown. And then I will add an effect. I'm going for the drop effect. And transparency will be at 100. That's what it will look like. Next, we'll just duplicate this text and bring it over here. Then I will type in mood board, enter designs. That's it right there. Move it over here to the center. So I'll come into the element section and type in minimalist and neutral, not this, neutral photo Minimalist and neutral photo on cream background. Very specific. I'll leave so right now it's in all section. You can come to photos and select see all. And I will scroll through to find the one that I'm looking for. It is this one over here. It's called Minimalist and Neutral Photos on Cream Background. I'll just click on that and insert it over here. All right. Next, I'm going to bring on some text. So I'll click on T and then I will type in my skills in action. I'll put this on top over here. We're going to increase the size. First, I'll change the font to Vibes. Vibes, and then I'll change the size to 120, large. Okay, then I'll stretch this out so it's all in one row and center it. Then I'll center it. Keep it right over. I'll keep it right over there. Lift it up slightly. Okay, now I'm going to change the color to brown. And then I will add an effect. I'm going for the drop effect. And transparency will be at 100. That's what it will look like. Next, we'll just duplicate this text and bring it over here. Then I will type in mood board, enter designs. That's it right there. Move it over here to the center. Now I'm going to move the images closer to each other. First, this one, bring it this way. And then I'll bring this one as well so that they both start and end where the text starts and ends. Okay. I'll select, I'll select everything and then move it down to the center like that. All right. Next. Oh, we're done. We're done with the intro page because now we have to add the samples. To do that, I'll just come over here. The plus button will come up once you hover over this middle between this page and the next page. Once you hover over the middle, you'll see a plus button. I'll just click plus. Before I add the new page, I'm going to align this one left like that. And then we will bring it on over. First, let me just close up this white space next to the text. And then I'll bring it on here. Like that. Let's close up the line spacing slightly. Yeah, like this. Keeping the line spacing at 0.87. Okay. Now we're going to add 2 pages that will allow us to display some of our skills. I'm going to click on the plus button over here. Once you hover between the pages, you'll see you'll have the option to add a page or add a transition. In this case, I'll be adding a new page. So I'll click on that. First, let's change the number of this page to 7. Now let's go back to our new page where we will add our work. I'll just come to uploads and find, okay, no, there's nothing over here. All right. All right, we're going to add our work. I'll go over to the upload section. I've uploaded everything that I need over here. And then I'll click on this first mood board sample. I'll click on edit. Then I'll come over to the shadows section and select drop. Okay, the effect has been applied, the drop effect. Then I'll minimize the size because I'm bringing on another sample. Bring it over here. Also apply the drop effect. And then reduce the size. I'll just place it on top of this to make sure that they're the same. Yeah, pretty much the same size. And then I'll place it over here. I'll bring this down slightly. Change the color of the background to brown. Then I will press T, type in my work, move it up to the top over here. I'll bring this lower. I'll bring this a little lower. Then I'll bring my work over here, increase the size. Let's make it big. I think let's do 55. Yeah. Okay. That was so not necessary. Ooh, okay. Next, we'll change the font color to white. And then we will duplicate. I'll select the next one, which is this over here. Just insert. And then it will apply the effect as well once you drop it in. And I'll do the same for here. It will also apply the effect automatically. So there you have the second page. And I'll add one more page. I'll just duplicate this. Drop in the image that I want to drop in. Takes up the effect. And the last one takes up the effect as well. Okay. So this is our skills in action page. We have 3 different pages where we've displayed our samples. You can include more, but don't let it be too much because the goal is to just share your best work. And if you don't have any work to share, you can create something that matches the kind of job you're going for and then place it on there. Then share it. Don't be shy. Okay. Thank you so much for watching. If you watched up to this point, well, then please let me know in the comment section. Say, I watched it. Thank you so much. And I'll see you in the next lesson, which is our last lesson. Don't miss it. Welcome to the last lesson in this series. And if you've watched until this point, well, then please subscribe for more tutorials just like this one. Okay. Now I'll click on the last slide over here and I'll type in, I'll just change listening to for your time. Let's space this out. I'm going to change the font to Vibes. Where are you? Okay, it's right over here. All of the fonts to Vibes. Let's just do that again. I'll select it again. And then I will change all the font to Vibes. Yeah. Now let's bring this over here and then we can now let's take 4 backwards, backspace, and then we can stretch this out. Thank you for your time. Center it. I'll center it like that. Let's just center this. Okay. Now that it's centered, I'm going to go into the element section and search for handshake. Handshake, but then let's add icon. I'll go to graphics to find the one I'm looking for. It's a free image. It's this one over here. I'll just click on that, bring it down here, reduce the size, raise it up, and then center it. Bring it down slightly. I'll reposition it again. But before I do that, let me just delete all the extra stuff that I don't need. We're nearly there. I'll change the background of this to our gray orange color. Now I can move the handshake. Make sure that it is centered there. That's it right there. Bring it down slightly. I'll move the thank you up a little bit like that. It's centered. I'll move this up as well. Now what I'm going to do is I'll move this thank you over here, just making sure that it is centered like this. This is fine. Then I'll bring this over here as well. That's fine. Then I'll change this color to brown, the color of the rectangle to brown. And then the handshake as well will be changed to brown. Let me just adjust this again. Yeah, like that. And believe it or not, this is complete. We've created our portfolio presentation. Now that we're done, let's quickly preview the design. I'll click on these arrows over here at the bottom for the view. It says present full screen. Let's take a look. Now, let's quickly go back to the beginning. Okay. I will scroll through now. This is the cover page, about me page, what I do page, my expertise, services, education, my skills in action page, my work, then the thank you page. All right, let's go back. So, if you've watched until this point, please let me know in the comment section. Type in there, I watched them all. Thank you so much. And if you've enjoyed it, consider subscribing, liking, and sharing with someone that you think this video will be useful to. Thank you once again, and I will see you in the next series. Remember to watch the other episodes if you haven't. Thank you for coming to my design workshop. Now go on and get creative.